Welcome to another episode of Sci-Fi Plus. In this episode, we'll dive into a theory I developed after watching Severance episode 9 titled The After Hours. Now, the episode synopsis highlights Mark and Devon teaming up with an ally while Helly conducts her own investigation. Now, if you're enjoying Severance so far, please hit that subscribe button for more deep dives in the future. Okay, let's get into it. Now, remember back in episode 8 when it ended with Cobel speaking to Mark on the phone? Well, in this episode, that kind of continued. They finally meet up in a remote wooded location, and in Cobel's own words, she suggested that they are now allies. However, I believe the ally mentioned in the synopsis, as well as in Cobel's words, refers to someone else. Okay, so let's unpack these clues together and connect the dots. Clue number 1. Helly R. storms into Mr. Milchek's office, empowered by the revelation that she is an Egan, and technically his boss. Milchek quickly reminds her that her Audi who holds the authority over him, not her severed self. She disrespectfully says some words to him, cursing, and then she turns around to leave. That's when Mr. Milchek asked her to leave the door open, but Helly defiantly slams it shut. Now, clue number 2. Now, that scene with Dylan G storming into Mr. Milchek's office, he was quitting, and Mr. Milchek extended his hand to take Dylan's badge, but without hesitation, Dylan just yanks off the badge and tosses it disrespectfully on the table in front of Milchek. I understood that Dylan was going through some heartbreak and some rage. The weight of the news that his Audi's wife will never return, it really did shatter his spirit, and I do believe it just left him lost and angry, not just at Milchek, but perhaps at Lunan itself. Milchek, he sits there, and you could tell he's trying to remain calm during all of this. But Dylan just barely showed any emotion as he stared back at Milchek. He only seemed to show some kind of emotion when Miss Wong apologized. Now, to the last and final clue. Mr. Drummond, once again, tries to put down Milchek in his place, demanding an apology for Mark's absence and the unfinished Cold Harbor project. You know, with that smirky, snarky little look on his face, Drummond even tells Milchek to keep it simple. Just say, I'm sorry. You know, like the classic power move, right, I guess? Or so Drummond thought. In an unexpected twist, Milchek flips the script. With this icy precision, he fires back the way Milchek only can, by telling him to devour feculence, and boldly declares that Mark's absence is indeed Drummond's failure, not his. Now, in this moment, Milchek is much like Harmony Cobel. It seems like he's had enough of Lumen's feculence. He's done playing nice, and Drummond just learned that the hard way. That's why I believe Mr. Milchek is that ally. When the ending came and Mark was calling Milchek to tell him that he wasn't coming into work, he was giving him lies, and I thought Milchek was going to see right through him. But if you remember, he just stared off at this picture on his wall. He had this look, this pensive look, like he was in deep thought, trying to figure out what his next move is or what he should do. And that was the first time in his eyes when he said, well, I'll see you tomorrow. It was more calmness, kindness. It was just kindness. It was just more like the strongness, the facade he was having just left for a moment. And I think in that moment, he was going to be just like Harmony Cobel, as in, I'm going to show them who I am. They should not have messed with me. So I believe that he's going to be a part of helping Mark, not because he's trying to be a nice guy. No, I think it's because he's trying to get Lumen, Mr. Drummond, everyone who's made him feel less than. He's going to get them back. Well, that's my theory. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And as always, as you'll see, I will comment and reply back. Let's keep this conversation going. Okay, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.